What up, folks? It's your man NG Double G hitting you with a brand spanking new top 10 list, man. And today we're gonna get into the most unnecessary remixes that I've ever heard. But before we get into it, go ahead and give this video a like. If you stick around and you didn't enjoy it, just go ahead and hit the thumbs down. I won't trip, no hard feeling. But let's just go ahead and hop into this. And at the top 10, it's coming from one of my favorite groups. This is Bone Thugs and Harmony. And this is a Crossroads remix. If you're not familiar, this is the one that features Flesh and Bone, you know, the fifth dog. He's on there, and there's a couple unnecessary verses that we got in this one. Alright, so I already know you're familiar with the Grammy winning The Crossroads. It's actually a remix of the original one that's from their debut album, Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 99. It's a remix of the song Crossroad. It's from their debut LP, yeah. It was dedicated to their homie Wally. He had got killed. But then the remix came out after their late mentor Eazy-E had passed away. And then we had the Ugly Twin, the second remix. This one, it has a section of Flesh and Bone. And if you thought you couldn't understand anybody else from Bone Thugs and Harmony, this dude, his contribution, it really didn't do anything to the record to make it even better. Not to mention, everybody's energy seems to be just a little bit off, and it's not as authentic. It doesn't feel as raw, like, hey, we're in our emotions and we just rapping hardcore to you right now. My favorite part actually is when Busy Bone, he goes into his new verse. He sounded like Popeye. He just had a whole can of spinach or something. Bro says something like, Yankee Doodle Lindy, roll up the window, roll up the end of smoke. I don't know what the fuck he says right there, but that shit sounds ridiculous as fuck. Anyway, I left that one at the graveyard. Fuck leaving it at the Crossroads. So we're gonna move into number 9. 9 goes a little something like this, Lean Back. But the remix though, okay, if you're not familiar with this one, this is Lean Back, the remix by Fat Joe. It's featuring Mace, Pastor Mace and Beth. It has Eminem after that. Remy Ma is on there, and it's a beat remixed by Lil Jon. Okay, so this is around 2005. This is off of Fat Joe's All or Nothing album. And this joint, it starts off with this crunked version, this crunked out rendition of the beat courtesy of ATL's Lil Jon. Before you can even reach the skip button, Pastor Mace and Beth comes on with this corny ass rap with some dry ass vocal delivery. And a slew of bars about a whole bunch of nothing. Then comes my favorite moment. Eminem comes in there. He sounds so out of place. He's like, you don't want problem with Harlem. You don't want problem with it. That shit sounds so fucking ridiculous. No, Marshall, I don't want any problems. If that's what the fuck Harlem sounds like. Man, I'm keeping my distance. Remy and Joe, they were the only ones that sounded decent. But what's a remix and half of the song is fucking dumpster juice. Anyway, this joint was so unnecessary. So we're gonna move into the 8th one. We rock on to number 8. This one is coming from Busta Rhymes. It's a remix, and it's produced by Swiss Beats. It's from 2006. This joint is called Touch It, the remix. There's like 15 of these motherfucking remixes. This one features Mary J. Blige, Rod Digga, Missy Elliott, Lloyd Banks, Papoose, and DMX. So boom, or Big Bang. Or boo, Busta, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, big bro. Busta, he intros in Mary J. Blige over these unnecessary added ass alarming sounds. I don't know, it sounds like a fucking car alarm or something. She gives us the smooth flow in the beginning right before she goes into this forced so-called ragged rapping thing that she does. Rod Digga, she follows up. She's doing the same thing, she follows suit. But somehow she manages to be forgettable in her verse. Missy and DMX, they do actually ride the beat the most impressively. And Papoose, he's here too, but you might forget because he's giving his best Big L rendition or impersonation. And oh boy, nothing hits me harder on this song than Mr. Lloyd Banks attempting to step out his monotonous vocal delivery, and then Banks tries to match the hype of the beat, the Swiss Beats, and he starts yelling at us, man. He's like talking about that he's been doing this thing and doing this thing. That part, that's the only part that's actually like memorable from that song for me. It's pretty ridiculous to me, and it's one of the most unnecessary remixes, and I dare you to listen to all 5 or 6 versions of that bullshit. Anyway, it's a Daft Punk sample flip, and it just kind of makes you want to hit next. Now, we're gonna hop into number 7. I really ain't got much to say about this one because low key, this DJ Snake track is called You Are My High. It's from 2021, and he made a remix featuring Future. And if you know me, you know how I feel about Future. Fire 'em up, boys and girls. I'm ready for y'all to bring the flamethrowers because Future ruins any fucking song that he's on. This dude had the nerve to add the most unnecessary raps over the illest EDM beat of the last 5 years. That's one of my favorite songs. Why did he ruin it? I literally said, ew. As soon as he started, I was like, oh. As soon as Future started rapping, I was like, damn, this nigga's annoying with this fucking babbling. Do yourself a favor and just go listen to the original one. Stream DJ Snake's OG version, because that verse from Future and his extra singing bullshit, so unnecessary. I don't need any unnecessary verses from Sierra's baby daddy. Anyway, we're gonna move into number 6. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm talking about Rock the Mic with the remix though. This is summer 2002, probably before some of y'all time. This is Freeway from The Rock with Beanie Siegel. Like the OG one, it had the Freeway and Beanie Siegel on there, but this one, it also has Nelly and Murphy Lee on it. And this one is so unnecessary. This unnecessary remix comes off courtesy of the master super producer, Mr. Just Blaze. This version of this song kind of reminds me of the writing standards in maybe like the 2nd grade. It just keeps dragging on. I will not do this, I will not do that, I will not do that. That's how this song feels as I'm listening to it. Murphy Lee, he adds nada to this track. Nelly comes in sounding like he's on the wrong song. He's rapping forever about a bunch of nothing too. At the same length of the original track, might as well just go and listen to the original track because Murphy Lee and Nelly should have just flipped the beat into a St. Louis flavor type Just Blaze instrumental or not. The funniest thing is this track, it opens up saying, now you know we had to do a remix, and I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Number 5. Fifth. All right, this one. Oh man, it's coming from the West Coast. It's coming from the TDE camp. This one is That Part by Schoolboy Q, the Black Hippie remix, of course, from 2016. This one is featuring Ab-Soul, it's featuring Kendrick, it's featuring J-Rock, and this version, it has like this new kind of EDM style on the mixing effects and stuff. J-Rock, he opens up the track, he sounded like his part was mixed at maybe like a different studio or something than the rest of the people on the song. Kendrick, high-key, he killed it on his verse, came in following J-Rock, and he was on fire actually. Ab-Soul, he has the least enjoyable part for me somehow. Homie really said, all eyes on me, call me 3-Pac. Maybe I didn't hear that right, but that was whack. That was weak, dude. I'm like, yo, you're a top tier lyricist. You shouldn't be saying stupid shit like that. This song should have been like Kenny and Schoolboy Q, because even the OG version with Kanye on it, that one was cringe-worthy because Ye was super low effort with it. It should have just been, if they were gonna make this song, kept the original, remove Kanye or keep him on the chorus or something, but it should have just been Schoolboy Q and Kendrick. I'm just saying, they're the only ones that really killed it on this song. If you disagree, let me know in the comments if you like that song. Anyway, we're gonna move into number 5. Number 5, we're gonna keep it over at the TDE camp. This one's coming from my main man, Kendrick Lamar. This one's called Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, the remix, and it's featuring Jigga Man, Hoba, it's featuring Jay-Z and Mo Boy. Keeping it in the TDE camp. Jigga. This is probably his worst feature to date. He tried to keep up with Kendrick's energy and he just falling shorter than K-Dot himself. Don't trip K-Dot, we the same height. It feels like he's just rambling on, trying to give us this OG perspective. And for the most part, it sounded like Jay-Z needed to take a deep breath on, or maybe like a couple swigs of some Pepto-Bismol or something. I love you, Hov, but this one was so unnecessary. Oh boy, so we're moving right along with this list. I'm telling you, we're on number 3 already. Number 3 already. This one is super unnecessary. This one is Welcome to Atlanta. It's taking it back to summer 2002 again. This one is Jermaine Dupri, and it's featuring Diddy. It's featuring Jagged Edge somewhere in there. It has Murphy Lee on here. It has Snoop Dogg and a little bit of Ludacris. This joint, it boasts the sample from the Bay Area OG Spice one. Actually, excuse me, let me take it back to the old school. It features this sample from The Miracles. It's called Do It Baby from back in like the 70s or something. That infamous bass line. Anyway, JD and Ludacris, this song, the original one, it's a classic. It's an ATL hit right off the bat. Luda's performance is one of my favorites from him, but this remix though, it removed most of Ludacris's part. We only really just have him in the chorus and stuff. His main verse is just replaced with the guest appearances by Diddy, Murphy Lee, and Snoop. Alright, I'll say this. Murphy Lee, he has the most enjoyable verse. He's giving us a bunch of inflections. He sounds like he's having fun. But I never need to hear Diddy or Puffy or Rainbow or Sunshine or whatever the hell his name is these days. Mr. Carisha, he irks the hell out of me for the most part. Not only did this remix not make the song better, it feels longer than it has to be. And Snoop's part, it's just super forgettable. It's one of his throwaway verses or something. It's super generic. I'm saying they should have just kept the OG joint and did maybe like a spin-off with the tracks per like big city, who hit a different remix over here in LA, a different remix over here in Texas, and a different remix over here in the Midwest, a different remix over here on the East Coast. That would have been ill with a different beat for each section, maybe like each season. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, but that one, the fuck out of here, man. Alright, number two, numero dos. It comes from the king. It comes from Notorious Big, man. This one is One More Chance. It's the one that features Faith Evans. It also has like some background vocals from Mary J. Blige and Old Girl from Total too. But this one is the Puff Daddy remix from 1995. And this remix, it presents us with this new beat. It has new chorus, it has new lyrics, and while the song may be considered a classic, it has its classic ranking, whatever, and it's reached many heights, commercially at least. The video, I will say that's iconic, but this remix is actually a watered down version of the original one. There's something missing about it. Like, the OG has that voicemail intro, and that's just so classic. When it comes to the remix, it's like, it's just missing something. It also has that change in that lack of energetic prowess that Biggie just gives us as he's storytelling. And the OG has this super dope ass addictive boom bap beat. It's captivating as soon as it starts, as soon as you hear the voicemail beep, and then the girls start talking and the beat just start banging. Biggie's storytelling, while it's more vulgar on the original joint, it shines way more on this OG joint than it does on the remix. And it blows the cheesy ass remix out of the fucking water. The remix, it kind of feels like it was that cool down song that the nightclubs play once everybody's like kind of like chilling and maybe need to catch their breath or something. Maybe it's what they used to use back in '94 when it dropped. Now either way, if you wipe that remix off the planet with a dirty do-rag, I won't even hold you. I hate this remix, but not more than number one. We're gonna go ahead and move to number one. We're gonna move into number one, man. And number one on my most unnecessary remixes of all time, we have One Blood, It's Okay, by The Game. And this one is featuring hip hop, literally. You ready for this? This one is featuring hip hop because on this one we have Jim Jones, we have Snoop Dogg, we have Nas, T.I., Fat Joe, Lil Wayne, Nori, Jadakiss, Styles P, Fabulous, Joel Santana, Rick Ross, Twista, Corrupt and Daz, Dev C, E40, Bun B, Chamillionaire, Slim Thug, Young Dro, The Clips, and Booyah, Ja Rule. Goddamn, there's 25 artists on this joint. The original song, it was on Gang's sophomore album called The Doctor's Advocate. It's featuring background vocals and a sample from Junior Reid. It's mixed by Mike Dean. I just found that out doing my research. It was also on the video game, but this remix though, so unnecessary. When it came out, it literally said featuring hip hop. The remix, One Blood, featuring hip hop. And boy, did they keep it real when they said that. The majority of the verses being redundant, and the beats, they get the beat itself, it gets stale about after 3 minutes or so. It has no real progression to it. Lil Wayne and Twista and Jadakiss, they sound boom. At home, they knock it out of the park. They sound dope on this, but man, does this track show you how unnecessary it is to have this uber list of the game's favorite rappers that he would probably name drop in a song actually be on the song. The concept probably could have been fleshed out a little bit better, but without that surprise ending of Ja Rule. His verse at the closing, although it was packed with the legends, this whole song, it was very limited on legendary verses. This one's definitely hip hop's "We Are the World," and man, this was one of those moments in the early 2000s where we had a jam-packed ton of unnecessary rappers. Nori, Daz, Young Dro. I mean, I love Nori and Daz, but I mean, I could have done without the rest of these, man. Shout out to hip hop, my first love, but One Blood, man. One Blood, the remix, is the most unnecessary remix of all time. If you disagree with me, go ahead and let me know in the comments, man. I appreciate you sticking with me through this one. It's been a tough one. The worst and the most unnecessary remixes of all time. It's your man, NG. Hit the like. If you like this one, go ahead and share it with your folks. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. I got another video coming soon. Oh, I told you I got a song with CYSTIC coming soon too. June 23rd. Might even drop the PRESAVE link in the comments. Go ahead, hit me in the comments. Let me know how you felt about this video. Let me know what you want me to make a top 10 on next. And I will catch you in the next one. It's your man, NG, and we out of here. Peace.